Can we do this? Are you ready?
There we are.
Guys, listen, I know we're early, and I want to say thanks to everybody for coming on and watching this. Even though we're an hour early, and we're an hour early because I'm headed to the Southeast Gasers Association race here shortly, and I don't want to miss the drivers' meeting. So, welcome to the Drag Drive Repeat News presented by Summit Racing for March 23rd, 2024. Huge show today, tons of news this week. So, we're going to go very, very fast. A new event sells out, crazy trophies from another event. I can't wait to go over these. And the fastest female of Drag and Drive will teach you how to drag race. That's right, all in the show today. Eric, why don't you hit that intro video and let's get this thing started, man.
All right, let's go.
All right, dude. Sorry, I was making notes and going live over there on Instagram. So, welcome to all those folks over there, guys. If you don't know, my name is Mike Narks. I'm the host of this Drag Drive Repeat News and the Drag Drive Repeat Show, which happens on Wednesday nights that covers all things Drag and Drive. We talk about it, live it, love it, and all that kind of stuff. And I also host an event called The Circuit, which is a charitable drag and drive event that's hosted at Mocan Dragway in less than a month. So,
Yeah,
Mr. Eric White, introduce yourself. Tell them what you got going on, dude.
I am Eric White. I co-host both the news and the show here. Do some artwork. I do video editing, all that stuff. Rising creator on Facebook again, which is kind of
Mhm.
cool. And then got my own channel, 815 LSX Swaps, that I'm working on stuff over there as well.
Dude, all the time. You are so busy, man. We appreciate it. Well, guys, you can see my normal backdrop is not where it should be. There's actually, I'm in a hotel room in Tennessee, Georgia. I don't know. I'm really close to the border of those, so I don't know. One of those two I'm in right now. And again, want to apologize for coming on early, but hey, we had to do what we had to do. So you know how we got to start this show off, guys. We got to thank you so much for being our race car friends. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey that we are on, covering all of these drag and drive events, and now throwing in some gasser stuff as well. So it's going to be kind of fun to bring you guys some of that content. If you don't already follow me on my personal Facebook page, probably jump over and do that as well. There'll be a lot more of this type stuff over there. A lot of the extra stuff that I do will be on my personal page, simply because we don't want to muddy up the drag and drive stuff with stuff that's not drag and drive related. But I'm telling you right now, there's some dudes that are here that are drag and drive and have drug and drove with these gassers. So we're going to talk to them and we'll bring you all that content as well. So thank you for being our race car friend. Thank you for being here. We appreciate the support. And guys, thank you so much to our sponsors. We appreciate all of them as well. Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, which I stopped by yesterday, Car Change 3D, Performa Built Transmissions, Howard's Cams, Sweet Patina, Racing Junk, and our newest media sponsor, PowerTube TV, media partner. Media partner, I think, is probably a better way to word that, because we're providing them content and they're providing us opportunities to cover stuff. So it's kind of cool.
That's
All right.
right.
Yep. Well, guys, I don't know if you know this or not, but Summit Racing started in 1968. Dude, that's almost 60 years ago. It's freaking
Yeah.
crazy. One man operation. We love entrepreneurs around here. It is now the world's speed shop. 4 facilities, 200 plus catalog editions, fueling your passion. They save you money, deliver fast, and offer top notch customer service. In 2014, they launched the Summit Racing mobile app for easy access to speed parts. Find them on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, but also on the On All Cylinders podcast, which I listened to several yesterday during my drive for more automotive discussions. From humble origins to the social media lane, Summit Racing stands by your need for speed. All right, dude, run us into some event stuff we're going to talk about. Let me run this in first.
Yeah.
Sorry, because I stopped by the Driven facility here in Memphis, Tennessee, as I come through, which was perfect because it was actually what should have been about halfway through my trip. So it's really cool. So I got to go in there. I mean, the facility here is, I don't know if you guys know this about Driven, but they run a very lean operation, which is really cool. So I got to meet the entire team. It's really fun. You can see the picture. I don't think I added the picture here. No, I didn't. Oh man. Well, you can go to the social media and you can see it. Got to hang out, got to meet all the folks there. I can't even remember their names off the top of my head, but there are several. And I don't want to say one person and not somebody else. So thank you to the Driven team for the hospitality. I appreciate it. And it was cool just to hang out, man. They have the knowledge of oil stuff that those folks have is over the top.
Yeah.
Over the top. It was it hurt my brain. I'll be honest with you. Some of the stuff we went through, they were talking way smarter levels than I know. So all I know is that if you have a race car and you want it to probably go faster and last longer, you probably need to be running Driven oil. That's based on what I heard yesterday.
Yeah, it was a cool photo you shared with them holding the banner in the background.
Yeah, we had a good time. That was a pretty famous little 2.3 liter four cylinder turbo car. Of course, I didn't get any of that content because we were trying to get back on the road at that time. So the cool thing is they are as excited about Drag and Drive as I think we are. And they've signed up. They're going to be at Six Summer. They're going to be at 666. And then we're talking about Race Week because Brian Tooley, Cam's actually recommends their oil. So Brian Tooley will have some of their oil at Race Week as well, Rocky Mountain and both Race Week. So a lot of opportunities for you guys to test the oil coming up and all that. All right.
Very cool.
A ton of other events too. They don't just attend drag and drive stuff. They've got like tractor pulling and snowmobile racing and all this kind of stuff that I mean,
Yeah, they were at TX2K, right?
yeah, yep. All week down there. They've been in there 8 days.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. All right.
All right. Well, the Haul Ass Garage is complete.
Yep.
I don't know if you got to see these videos, but I see vehicles on trailers doing burnouts.
Dude, it's crazy. The car pulling the trailer doing a burnout, car on the trailer doing a burnout. Pretty
Yeah.
intense. Yeah. Those guys like to party.
Yeah, so that looks like they had a good time. Um, that's all wrapped up. We'll have to dig into some of the results from that
Yep.
and kind of go over that stuff.
Yeah. And then our buddy David Gallimore was down there as well and bought a car from their little wagon and then is shipping it back home. I didn't know that until the post he made yesterday. So
Yeah, that should be pretty interesting.
yeah. Yeah. So he's got the Barra and the Chevelle now. So this car he purchased has a Barra, so he's like going to be a new Barra guy.
There you go. Olympic Drag and Drive has sold out.
Yeah, that's exciting for them. I'm really happy and glad that happened. It's
Yeah.
gonna be really cool.
Yep. Congratulations to that group. That's exciting. And the New York Drag and Drive registration is going to open up June 1st for that. They said there'll be 4 classes: the 50 to 649 class, a 650 to 749 class, and an 80 and up class, and then a no time instant green class.
Yeah, I thought that sounded pretty interesting, and they're working through it looked like, registration costs. Now that
Yep.
some sponsors have come on board, it looks like they'll actually be able to lower the cost some. They had initially set it at 400 entry, and, I mean, even in their post said that may have been a tad too much, so
Hmm.
they're trying to get that cost down, and, so if you are in the New York State area, definitely hit them up, and if you wanna be a part of the newest drag and drive on the scene, that's the one.
Yep.
Except
So
except for one. Let's hint at it because I didn't make enough notes for this one, but we've got one that's going to be in Texas, and it's going to be in May. And Steve McDermott Jr. sent it to me yesterday, and man, I want to apologize to him for not making as many notes as I needed to. But again, I was on the road all day yesterday to get this all set up. So we're going to talk about this a little more in depth on Wednesday night, talk about classes and things like that. But it's a regional event that is actually it's like a 2-day event, but you race 2 different tracks in the same day, which I did that on Southeast Street Meet, coolest thing ever. So it should
yeah,
be pretty cool.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yep. And then what do we got? So hit the driven ad here real quick, and then we'll move on.
perfect.
Why gamble with performance, or protection when you get proven results from Driven Racing Oil, trusted by top engine builders, winning racers, and devoted horsepower enthusiasts around the world. Driven takes legendary base oils such as ones from Bradford, Pennsylvania, which comprise their GP1 line. Then Driven boosts that superior base with state of the art additive packages. Driven's GP1 Nitro 70 not only provides anti wear protection, but can even shield cylinders from washout and fuel dilution caused by using methanol or nitro based fuels. Learn more about Driven Racing Oil at Facebook and Instagram at Driven Racing Oil, or shop now at drivenracingoil.com.
Yep. And again, if you have any questions about that stuff, you can send them an email and they'll answer quickly, but they also are very knowledgeable. Or they know all the stats. I don't know, one of the two, but they were very smart. I was having a hard time following along. All right, let's talk about car change because dude, have you seen how busy this guy is?
Yeah, he should be moving into a new building here soon too, huh?
Man, yeah, I think April 1st, May 1st. I think he's doing it May 1st. Pretty intense. Congratulations to Corey. I mean, this really has grown from a one-man operation, and he's hired somebody to help. I mean, that's his wall and behind him. So pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. But I thought this was really cool. Trans brake button there, in a cover for factory steering wheels.
Yep.
Thought that was pretty neat, little Fox body setup there. And then also, I really liked this one. This makes a lot of sense to me if you're racing, a Tahoe or Suburban or regular cab short bed 2-wheel drive truck. This could work out well. So I thought that
Yeah.
was really cool, him working on all this stuff and how it will make things much easier for folks. So again, Car Change 3D, you can find all of the stuff that he provides. I mean, I don't know. I would. That's a question we need to ask him. How many SKUs does he actually have that he sells?
Oh yeah, I bet you it's crazy. I see stuff all the time from him.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's always working on new stuff. So if you have an idea, definitely hit him up, Corey Nicholson or Car Change 3D on Instagram or Facebook. And then he's making some. He's the sponsor for the U versus U class at the circuit, and he said he's making something special for that person. So not only
Nice.
will they need to make a whole bunch of passes to be the most consistent, now I know they're gonna want to win this trophy. And then he's doing some other raffle items and things like that. Well,
Yeah,
speaking of trophies,
yeah.
did you see these?
I saw that when you sent that to me, and I was reading through it. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah, so Cruise and Lose is probably one of the funnest, it looks like, drag and drives out there, especially for regional stuff. This one again, April 26th through 28th at I-29 Raceway in Iowa. This looks, I mean, dude, not a loser for for a class or for a trophy, and then loser in training, which I thought was really funny. It's for the youngest person to complete the event as a registered participant. Thought that was cool instead of like everybody kind of goes to Young Guns or something like that as far as the name. But I thought Loser in Training was pretty fun. So they're having a
Yeah.
blast with that. Softest Hands is for the best co-pilot.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny. They say it'll be up to the racers to nominate their co-pilot and explain how they went above and beyond. So I thought that was pretty cool. What best honker? It sounds like a good time because so many people forget their horn when they're signing up for a drag and drive event, and so this is for their favorite horn as they tech cars in.
That's funny.
Yeah, and then Lost with Style is for their favorite outfits at checkpoint photos. So it says be sure to look sharp or stupid as this is my personal favorite trophy.
That's funny.
Yeah, yeah, that
I know
sounds
there
like a
was a
blast.
there was a lot of wild photos, kind of outfits at the Hard Ass 1000 too. I saw in
Yeah,
some of their posts.
yeah, that looked like a good time. I'm telling you, we've got to get that one on the list. I think that the way everybody reacted for all the stuff we saw, or I saw anyways, it looked like it was those people know how to party.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Good
Uh,
stuff.
yeah, tell us about what's going on right here. I just saw this yesterday.
Yeah, this was pretty cool. Alex Taylor had made a post saying that she will teach you how to drag race. She posted, I'm teaming up with Radford Racing School to create a fun event at their drag strip in October that you can sign up to be a part of. You can experience the thrill of drag racing, reinforce safe driving habits, and learn from some great instructors while utilizing Radford's fleet of Dodge Hellcats and Demons. You'll get a rad on track experience with great cars, meet new friends, and enjoy a delicious meal. Plus, you'll get to hang out for the day. So she's got a link that you can click in the comments for more details. Obviously, spots are going to be limited on that.
Mhm.
That's kind of a cool idea.
Yep, yep, and, again, she's a rising star. I mean, obviously, with all the stuff she has going on, this is really cool, and another way for her to get out there and just kinda cement that brand that she's a heck of a drag racer.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be really neat. You see a lot of this, and does it like for folks signing up. I think this will be really good. It'll be interesting to see how many people this brings out of the edges. Like they just haven't done a drag and drive yet. They've looked at them and thought about them, but she's going to talk about it. She's going to be able to kind of answer some of those questions in a setting with maybe I mean, I don't know, maybe they race 20 people that day. So like
Yeah.
she'll have a lot more opportunity to talk about it and pitch that side of racing. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, they got a fleet of Hellcats and Demons. Like, I'd be,
Yeah, yeah.
that's not something that you're just going to go jump in and get to drive or ride in on a regular basis. So,
That's exactly right. Well, Cal Hayward played a joke on us the other day. Thought this was pretty funny. He has Pinky Drag Week is the way to follow on Facebook for his rebuild of that car, or as he's getting close to the end of the new build, and he posted this picture of it being purple, and people kind of lost their mind. They were like, "What is happening? Do we call it Purpley Drag Week now? Like, how are we going to handle this?" Turns out it was a joke, but that is a great color. I'm telling you, if he did that, I wouldn't be sad for him.
so that isn't his car that got painted.
No, no.
I know we both looked at it and we're like, wow.
Yeah, yeah. So great joke there. Really enjoyed that. That was pretty funny, and gave me a little bit of something to post about for a while. But he did message me and say, "Hey, man, that's not the right color." So, but we should be getting really close on that car. I know he had said that he was, to make Drag Week 2024, he would have to just be in an absolute thrash. So I don't know that car that the motor's been in and out 4 or 5 times, based on the pictures we're seeing and that he's sending me. And that car's going to be big block Ford, 3,500 horsepower going for sixes. So it should be a pretty cool build to watch. Cool is the word of the day for some reason today. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm excited, but I haven't had any caffeine or anything this morning. So cool is the word of the day.
Yep.
You see me out at the Southeast Gassers, just make sure you say that to me.
Yeah.
All right.
Show was
Well,
cool this morning.
yeah, right. I'll read the Molly ad read here, and then you can run us into the newest spotlight. Attention, high performance enthusiasts and sportsman class racers, meet the Molly Motorsports Power Pack Kit, your ultimate solution for power packed performance. The Power Pack pistons are made from either 4032 aluminum alloy to allow for tighter cylinder to wall clearances and improved temperature stability, or 2618 alloy to allow for increased detonation resistance. Tailored for various engine families from small block Chevrolet to Volkswagen and Audi, they've got you covered. What sets us apart? Forged pistons, graphite coating, and phosphate treatment for peak performance and durability. Elevate your ride with Molly Motorsport, where performance meets precision. Unleash the power within. Visit mollymotorsport.com for more details. Molly, for everybody listening on the podcast, Molly is spelled Mahle.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So we
dude.
got our first co-pilot spotlight posted yesterday. Was it yesterday?
I
It was
think so.
yesterday. um, so we had Zach Stevens had filled out the form and put in a co-pilot spotlight, and we got that article written. So this is Tina Stevens, his mom. So a couple things from the article here. A co-pilot is much more than an extra set of hands during a drag and drive event. Sometimes they can be the difference maker when chasing a class win against a very tight field. Zach's reply to our question, tell us a story about how your co pilot saved the day, was spot on. Instead of saving the day, she helped me win my class. As mentioned earlier, she is my number one supporter on or off the track, wanting me to give 110% in everything I do with school, working for that 4.0 GPA, or racing, shooting for that perfect 12.0 pass every day. She knows I got it in me and helps me believe that I can achieve my goals with hard work and determination. Day two, she said, we can stay here as long as you need to hit your goal. And I made 17 passes that day and turned in a 12.000 and a 12.007, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to watch that go down.
Yeah, that supportive mentality carried on for the rest of the week. A support system like that is hard to beat. So that's just a little bit from that article that was written. If you want to go read that whole article, you can head over to the website and check that out. And you can also submit your own Copilot Spotlight by filling out that form. There's just a handful of questions, and then you can submit that with some photos. And then we are going to work through those and drop those as often as we can.
Yep, my plan tonight, the racing should be done about 9 p.m., maybe 10. And I'm going to come back here and finish up Nick Desamines, which I started late last night. As we go through here, he's talking about his co-pilot Rob for Sick Week 2023. So should have that, and it resulted in a class win as well. So that's two folks that have submitted about their co-pilot that ended up winning their class. So again, thanks to Zach for doing that. Appreciate that, and I know that my mom wouldn't typically be the first choice I would have made for a drag and drive. But after that, after hearing his stories, I really wanted to invite her to do one of these with me. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I got a race in one, not just cover them all.
All right.
Awesome. All right. Well, it looks like it's going to be a little shorter show today, man. We maybe run through this and I can get to the track a little earlier.
There you
Guys,
go.
you know the deal. The gentleman's agreement is, look, we're going to keep working hard for you. We're going to work till 2 a.m. like I did last night. We're going to do all of that stuff because we love this and we love you guys and love bringing this content to you, but we need you guys to hit that follow or subscribe button wherever you're watching this. Make sure you are following us. All we do is talk about drag and drive. That's it. But everything we do is related to you guys and how how I feel like this community is the best that's out there. And I want to spread the word. And, I think it's definitely growing, still growing. We have, with the Texas Cruise and Chill, that's another, that gives us 36 events for 2024. So we're still early in the season, so we're going to see it grow. So guys, to be caught up on that stuff, please follow and subscribe right here where you're watching this. All right.
Absolutely.
Right. And then, obviously we can't do this without, well, that should say our race car friends, but I guess I didn't move that one over. So thank you to our race car friends for all you guys out there. This is what happens when you do this early in the morning and late at night, man. You miss stuff. So we appreciate you guys being our race car friends. The folks that have hit that follow and subscribe button, you guys make all this world go around, and we appreciate all the comments and shares and things like that. Thank you to our sponsors: Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Car Change 3D, Performer Built Transmissions, Howard's Cams, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classifieds, and our newest media partner, PowerTube TV.
And speaking of our race car friends with the comments, Matt Lang here. We appreciate comments like this, saying Mike and Eric deserve more credit for bringing us the latest drag and drive news and stats, hardest working guys in the community. Make sure to support the sponsors that back these guys.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Appreciate you saying that for sure. We do work a lot. It's always on my mind. Everything. It's funny when like I was sitting with Ray this morning from PowerTube having breakfast and kind of going over the day's plan, and he was naming all these people. Oh, did this with this person, did this with this person, and I was like, I don't know half of those people, man.
Yeah.
I only know drag and drive. I only know. So we're gonna work on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bucket list mob saying have fun at Sega. Yeah. Southeast Gas Association. Dude, I'm telling you, we're gonna have a blast. All right. Well, let's talk about Performa Belt. I had plenty of time in the car yesterday. I left at 8 a.m. and I got here at 11. So I spent an hour and a half at Driven. So what's that, 11 and a half hours in the car by myself staring out the windshield?
Oof.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. There was a 2.5 hour spot where some semi had wrecked in some form or fashion, and it backed traffic up for 2.5 hours.
Oh,
no
wow.
exits, no anything, no way to get around it, through the middle of a, nature preserve or whatever. And so craziest deal ever, but I had decent service. So I had podcasts going and videos going, and I watched the Performabuilt video from yesterday or from a few days ago with Ryan and Nick. So Nick is a customer of Ryan's, but built that absolutely gorgeous, um, brown on brown OBS truck that
Yep.
I fell in love with at, Southeast Street and Eat, and then saw him again at Sick Week. And so they talked a little bit about like why Nick chose it Performabuilt, but then also how Nick keeps that truck alive. So it's 600 and something wheel horsepower, 4L80 NA deal. I mean, big cubic inch. And essentially they talk for about 30 something minutes, 35 minutes. There on the bottom of the screen. You can find it on YouTube and Facebook on the Performabuilt Transmissions page. It was a great conversation. So I took a couple notes, obviously, while I was sitting still there. So one thing that I liked about the conversation was some of it was geared towards drag and drive, obviously, because Ryan has an interest in that, obviously being one of our sponsors. But then also, like, he wants to do some of that racing and is going to be at Six Summer, so that's kind of
Yep.
cool. But they were talking to them, and again, you can follow Nick over at CNG American Muscle Cars. But Ryan asked Nick, "Why are you drawn to drag and drive?" And Nick's initial answer was the challenge. He just said it, I wanted to prove that I could do it, and he's done it. I mean, he's finished several events, has competed in four, and his first one was, I think he said Sick Week 2023 and he rode with Matt Frederick in that absolutely gorgeous second gen Camaro. Like, oh man, that car is so cool and fast, super fast. And so he rode with him, and then he had to do it on his own. So he built the 4L80 454 LSX truck. I mean, crazy build, absolutely gorgeous. So the challenge was his answer, which I thought was really cool. And then obviously from there, the friendships that he's made and things like that. And then uh, another great question was, what are things you do to keep the transmission alive? He said he checks the transmission fluid daily when they're on a trip. So I thought that, I'm sure that's a good tip for some folks. And then regular maintenance, regular service. He's checking that. He's changing fluids and stuff before an event and all that. A lot of times. So that led Ryan into kind of a little bit of uh, I wouldn't say a rant, but it was about, a lot of times people will get this transmission, and because they don't know anything about them, they just don't touch them.
Yeah.
So, there's not a lot of fluid changes. There's not a lot of checking stuff. They look and see, oh, hey, it's got fluid in it. We're good. But, you know, their engine oil, they'll change halfway through the week or every day sometimes. But the trans are like, hey, that's voodoo magic in there, man. I don't want to mess with anything. It works. So I don't want to tear anything up. So, pretty interesting there. And then again, Six Summer is the next event for both of these guys.
Mm.
So that was like what put it over the edge for me. I mean, I'll just be honest, when we were talking a couple weeks ago about if I was going to come to Six Summer or not, and Ryan being there is what put it over for me. Ryan and Howie, and now Nick is going to be there, and of course, all of our other friends are going to be at Six Summer. So it's going to be a lot. So Eric's going to be there on Monday and maybe Thursday, Friday, or Monday and Friday for sure, something like that.
Yeah,
And then
Monday
I'm
and
coming
Friday
up.
for sure, and then we'll
Yep,
see what other days I can squeeze in.
yep. And so I'm driving up on probably either Wednesday night or early Thursday morning, and we'll catch the route somewhere along in there. So that's my plan as of right now. I may drive up Wednesday night and race with everybody on Thursday, and then do the route Thursday into Friday. So that's kind of my plan for that. And then they were talking about trans temps for these, that Ryan was saying. He's actually saying the temp that he sees is way less than it probably even should be. So they had to be talking after the call about some kind of thermostat deal, which I've always thought that if your transmission is too cool, it could be bad too, because you need that fluid in a certain range. And so
Right.
Nick was saying he only sees about 130-degree temps. So he uses a true cool 40K trans cooler that I think is probably the best one on the market. I mean, there's 90% of people that use that one love it. And
Yeah.
so I use a factory E350 van transcooler, and I don't think I ever saw over 140 in the old truck, back when I drove it because it's broke still. But the True Cool 40K said that's what they put on every car that they build at CNG American Muscle Cars, and it just works. So, again, I'm going to talk to Ryan a little bit. I want to find out, that's probably our next segment to have with him is what is a good trans temp? What should you be
Yeah.
searching for? What is something you need to be looking for? And what's it do if it is only at 80 degrees and you're pulling up to the lanes? So how do you build heat in the trans besides putting it on the two-step?
Right.
So one last bit about that whole interview was that each transmission that is built by Performa Built is actually signed by the trans builder. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. So that way, and so Nick's builder is a guy named Travis. And so when he has an issue with one, he just calls Travis, or if
Mm,
he needs a change or something like that. So thought that was pretty cool with the way they set that up. Instead of it being like an assembly line, you kind of almost you would have someone to talk to, or you would have someone you could go, hey, what happened here? Or hey, what should I do? So I
yeah.
thought that was pretty neat.
Almost gives you like a point of contact for your build itself.
Yep. Yep. And again, from Ryan, when they were on a couple weeks ago, there's 6 guys in that shop, very small. So that makes it really easy to track down and also build that relationship with that builder, because there'll be some quirky, goofy stuff. If you're building the level of cars that Nick is building, there's stuff that you're going to need. There's interesting tidbits that you're going to have. So
Oh yeah, for
pretty
sure.
cool. And again, thanks to Performer Built for being part of the program here at Drag Driver Pete.
Yep, absolutely. All right, what do we got next? We got found on Racing Junk.
Yeah, man. Oh, sorry. There we go.
All right, Carl saying 4L60E got a bad rap. They can be built to handle some serious power.
Yeah, yeah, and
And
I think Ryan's proven that.
yeah, and he mentioned a little bit earlier that he's got a stage 2 60E Performa built in his 98 fired close to 10 years now. Solid unit with no issues. So that's good. We've been hearing that a lot from people that are running that say that they've had no issues with them.
Hmm.
All right, let's check out what I found on Racing Junk this week. And since you are at Southeast Gassers, I figured we'd check out some gassers today.
Yeah, I like it.
So we got a 48 Plymouth Gasser here, 34.5, Yellow Cab Company here. This one is in Cypress, California. So
Yes,
I have
I
a
love
feeling that you're gonna find a new love in gassers
oh,
throughout this
dude.
weekend.
Well, I liked them already, so this is going to be very dangerous.
Yeah, and I feel like you're gonna see a lot of banging gears and wheelies, and that's what I mentioned when we had the Southeast Gasser guy on a few weeks ago. That's
Hmm.
that's kind of what comes to my mind when I think about an event full of gassers is just banging gears and crazy wheelies. And
Yeah, yeah.
so this
Bring
one's
it on.
a 48 Plymouth Gasser P15 coupe. It's got a 511 Chrysler Wedge, 750 horse, 727 torque flight, trans brake, B&M shifter. You can see all that stuff, chassis back half. So that one's pretty cool. Includes an open trailer ready to race.
Nice. And how much was it? 40?
This one was
34?
34.5.
Yeah.
So, I
Sweet.
mean, that's not bad. Comes with an
Yeah.
open trailer, 750 horse, ready to
Yeah.
race.
Considering you can go race with that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
That's awesome.
this next one I found was kind of unique, so I had to throw that one in here. Check this thing out.
Holy jeez.
A 1964 Triumph Spitfire for 6,500 bucks. So
Wow.
as I'm looking for gassers on Racing Junk, I saw this and I was like, "What in the world?" And then I started looking at it and I'm like, "This is kind of cool." Unfortunately, there's
Uh,
only one picture of it,
oh,
but
rude. That's
this is
just
in
rude.
yeah, La Marquis, Texas. It's a 1964 Spitfire straight axle gasser street freak project.
Yeah.
Custom chassis is 90% done, 100% TIG welded. Interior tin work needs is needed for the back half. Roll bar main hoop is bent and fits tight. Chevy 350 Power Glide, Toyota 8-inch has drive shaft. So you can see a bunch of stuff on there. Pretty sweet. Steering is all there, many more details. He's moving, which is forcing the sale. It has a clean Oregon title. It's titled as a 64 Spitfire with no problems.
Wow. Yeah, that's a cool rig.
Yeah.
Probably need to show Steven that.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty
Once you
cool.
send me that link, I'll send it to her. You can send it to Steven. Uh, yeah, that's all he needs is that. That's one thing that's gonna be cool about me being down here is, Steven, my brother, uh, builds cars for a living, and so I'm sure we're gonna end up with some. He's gonna end up with some gasser stuff, whether for himself or for somebody.
Yeah. Some crazy ideas coming out of it for sure.
Yeah, yeah, when you have 11 hours of window time, and the struggle is after, we'll race today. I'll stay here tonight, work on some video stuff, and then tomorrow morning I'll have another 10 hours home.
Yeah.
So it should be it's gonna be a pretty interesting drive. So I'm sure by then I'll have all kinds of notes made and hey, what parts do we already have that we
Yeah.
could put into something that would be
Yeah.
ready for that.
Yep, you'll have all kinds of crazy ideas. You'll see some cool cars. It'll be a good time. And we'll be putting
Yeah.
out some pictures too.
Yep. Yep. So again, the plan is for Drag Drive Repeat to see all of the cars that are driven on the street. That's one of our biggest things, cars that get driven or cars that have been on a drag and drive or most likely racers that have been on a drag and drive that I'll be talking to as well. We're going to feature as many on there as possible. And then on my personal page, anything and everything, all this stuff that's here, going to have a huge album on that. So a lot of the pictures will overlap, of course, and then videos that'll come from this. And of course, the TV show that I'll be hosting for PowerTube TV will be around this race. Will kick that off. So that's why I'm here is to meet these racers and get to know some of the stories and find out all the cool stuff about these cars. So when I'm talking about it, because I'll actually be doing that show from the house, I'll know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So anyways, well, cool. Well, I've got to jump in the shower because now my timeline was moved up at least 2 hours because of this morning. So, guys, just again, want to say thank you to everybody that has watched this morning. Want to say thanks to all of our race car friends that are out there. And if you haven't done it yet, please hit that follow or subscribe button and be caught up on everything we've got going on here. And then again, thanks to our sponsors: Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oils, Car Change 3D, Performer Built Transmissions, Howard's Cams, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classifieds, and our newest media partner, PowerTube TV.
Absolutely. All
All right.
right. Thanks
Thanks, guys.
everybody. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Sweet.